And a top story at 5, the waiter embroiled in the row over a bill is now getting death threats. The bill served at the Bungalow, an upmarket restaurant in Clifton in Cape Town, had sparked a furore on social media. The bill indicated customers as two blacks, and ironically, he happens to be a man of the same color. Management of the restaurants insists they have a clear policy of non-discrimination on basis of gender or race. Additional training has now been put in place to reinforce the procedures and systems at the restaurant. And the restaurant issued a statement saying, and I quote, "On this occasion, this was the act of one employee and an internal investigation is taking place. Procedures are being put in place to ensure that this doesn't happen again, and no offense was intended, and we are sorry that Mr. Maqatuka had this experience," end quote. The restaurant was lambasted on social media, but some people have also come out and say that this is a case of much ado over nothing. And it's over to Stefanie Janse van Vieren for more.
There's been mixed reactions on social media. Some people saying that this is once again racism revealing its ugly head in South Africa, and other people saying that it's not really a big deal. Well, if we look at some of the comments coming in on Twitter, we have Leah Wright saying, "Did they not give you the wrong bill, dude? Maybe report them to human rights." So we can see some other tweets coming in as well from Martin Msemeki saying, "Very sad that a shop will do that and take the money of people it class them somehow." Taking a look at the other social media reaction coming in from Lebza Motau, it says, "Since when do restaurants write race on receipts? Yane." And then the last reaction coming through is the other side of the reaction, thinking that it's not so big a deal. No offense, but if this is your biggest stress in life, you're wasting your life. So as you can see, a lot of mixed reactions coming through, and we'll hope to see the story develop further.
Hello, an upmarket Cape Town restaurant is under severe criticism for an alleged racist policy. The owner, Chris Cartulis, also owns the Santa nightclub Taboo. They issued an apology saying it was the action of one employee and not management's stance. And joining us on the line as ANN7 reporter Chelsea Lotz. We also have Kunene on the line. We'll start with you, Kenny. Thanks so much for joining us. We saw your tweet saying that obviously racism is not new in Cape Town, and that it's something that we basically have to live with.
Yes, I experienced it when we still had ZAR in Cape Town. How the DA-led government officials, racism is so visible you can cut it with a blade. There was at some point when I was driving my Lamborghini with two white girls, and I was stopped. They were drinking, I was not drinking. I just took them for a spin. And white officers chased me to a robot. They arrested me for overload. These girls spilled them with alcohol, told them that they are not underage, and there's nothing wrong that I have done. I'm just taking them for a spin. They actually threw bottles of glasses of alcohol on them, and they did not even arrest them.
All right,
I
but
had to go to the police station. So I know I've experienced that racism and name calling of black people in the Western Cape. It's all well known for those who stay in the Western Cape.
All right, now racism in itself hasn't been criminalized as such. There's legislation against hate speech, of which the penalty would be a fine or what have you. How do you think then we integrate society, particularly different cultures, in public spaces so that these kind of experiences can be eradicated?
The only way to root out racism, because the only racism that I see, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook, on social networks, and that I experience wherever I am, is white racism against blacks. I don't see black people being racist against white people. And this season is very rife. We saw last year with Penny Sparrow at this particular time insulting black people, calling them names. So the only way to deal with racism seriously is to make sure that it is an illegal thing, and whoever says any racist or does any racist act then must be prosecuted criminally. We have to criminalize it. That is the only way that those who are racist will be able to deal with it. Otherwise, they must all spend time in prison, just like criminals.